Sahana vavatu Sahanau bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, 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 and also. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you, we welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. And we are grateful to Swami that we'll be continuing the Gita Jnana Yajna. And we are on chapter 18, and the soft copy you have is page 82. And the hard copy, the book, it is page 168. But we are doing, if you refer to the original Bhagavad Gita, we are at the end of chapter 8, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga, and transitioning to chapter 9, Raja Vidya Rajaguhya Yoga, Royal Secret of how to get liberation. So Swami will be talking about the important shloka from that chapter and have an elaborate explanation. So last week, we talked, last couple of weeks, one is when to leave the body. They say the auspicious time we talked about is Uttarayana and Shukla Paksha, not Dakshinayana and Krishna Paksha. We talked about the literal meaning, what is the real Uttarayana time and Dakshinayana time. But then we talk about the spiritual meaning. What Swami said is it is not reference to the time period, it is where your mind is. When your mind is tuned with God, all the time is good, Uttarayana and it is Shukla Paksha. That is an important concept because traditional texts, commentators, all of them say is related to the chronological time period. But Swami, like I said, the example last time also, for Shidi Baba, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, including Adi Shankara gave a regular meaning, but Shidi Baba gave the highest spiritual meaning. So they give that is the advantage when we refer to the avatars, they give the highest inner and spiritual divine meanings. And then also two important concepts last week we talked about. And Lord Krishna said, if you realize me, that is moksha. Just simple definition. What is moksha? You realize me. So who is he is? He is the primal cause. God is the primal cause. So everything has a cause. You do this like somebody ghee, it has a cause. Curd has a cause. Milk, like that. Everything will go on cause to cause. Seed, what is the cause for the tree? Seed, and like that. But this is God is causeless cause, the primal cause. There is no cause for the. That is the ultimate. There in matter ends. That is why he says he is the primal cause, supreme cause. So once you attain that, you are attaining moksha. That is, when you attain moksha, you are a jivan mukta, liberated while alive. And moksha definition we said, moha chaya. Once your moha is gone, that minute you are moksha. It is not some special place you have to go. People think you have to go. There are heavens, but moksha is nothing to do with heaven. There is also, we talked about two muktis, krama mukti, sadhya mukti. Some gradually you get the liberation. Sadhya mukti is instantaneous, like Ramana Maharshi, when he was just traveling to Tiruvannamalai, he had a flash and he realized the truth. And same thing with Nisargadatta Maharaj, Vivekananda. This light, this darkness to go, it doesn't take much time, right? I asked that to Swami. I mean, it's so difficult. So like this Arjuna. So we're so ignorant so long. I said, if the cave is dark for 10,000 years, right? 10,000 years is dark. You put a light, candle light, how long does it take the darkness to go? Instantaneously it goes away, right? Similarly, we may be lifetime, we may be ignorant, darkness. That by God's grace and our spiritual practice, it can go anytime. Once the dawn of knowledge comes, instantaneously you become illumined, enlightened. So that is you. He is telling that. So for that, then how to get that? He gave the solution. Get rid of the attachment to body. That is the problem. All of us, every time I am this, I am this body, I am my name, my profession, everything, most of the time we connect to the body. And that body consciousness, body attachment is very difficult to get off. That's why the whole thing is Sri Ramakrishna said, Naham Deham Koham Soham. I am not this body. Who am I? The Soham. I am that supreme Parabrahman. That is one. So when he says get rid of the attachment to body, like all of us, Arjuna says, Lord, is very hard. I can't do it. Like, but there the great master says, don't get discouraged. You can do it. You don't need, it's not a complicated thing. He says it's very easy. So you don't need to go into a cave, put a matted hair, wear a ochre robe. He says you can do it living in the society. Head in the forest, hands in the society. So what is the secret of liberation? That also talked last time. Dedicate all your actions to God from the morning to evening. Whatever we do, whether you are taking a shower, whether you are eating food, or you are walking, or going to work, and then sleeping, every act, Lord, I dedicate to you. But you dedicate God only what pleases Him. Like we want to put nice flowers, not wilted flowers, things, right? Or prasadam, we offer the best. Similarly, for God, you offer the best. So make sure before we offer dedicate my actions, am I really doing something which is God will be pleased with that. And then dedicate. Then he says you are liberated. This is the secret of liberation. Do all acts as dedicated to the all Lord without any desire. So that is where we entered. So the at least major points we should remember. What meaning of Uttarayana and Shukla Paksha, and what is a Jivan Mukta, or what is a Moksha, what is the secret of liberation. At least we read so much, at least some major points we need to assimilate and remember like formulas. That is the important thing. So now we'll continue unless we have some other comments from the previous week's things, Nirupama. So you can continue. Page 168, starting with whoever among devotees, and in the soft copy, page 82.
Sairam, I do want to share. I think whenever I think of my grandfather, he truly dedicated everything to Swami, whether he yawned, sneezed, anything. He would say Sairam. And I think we all sort of developed that habit because we would ask him, why would you do that? But then he said, you dedicate everything to the Lord.
Yes.
So I think our generation also kind of developed a lot of those same habits.
Automatically, after practicing, it comes automatically. Good.
Sairam. Whoever among devotees dedicates all acts to me with no other thought, whoever meditates on me, serves me, worships me, remembers me, knows that I am always with him, ever providing for him in this world and the next. I bear the burden of his yogakshema. Do you hear me? Asked Krishna, patting Arjuna again on the back and imparting courage to his drooping heart. This statement about the Lord guaranteeing the yogakshema of the devotee has given rise to a great deal of misunderstanding. Even pundits, not to speak of others, have failed to grasp its real import. The commentators on the Gita explain this declaration in manifold ways. This most sacred sentence is as the navel to the Gita body. The navel of Vishnu was the place where Brahma took birth. This sloka is the navel or place of nativity for those who thirst for Brahma-jnana. Brahma-jnana. If this sloka is followed in practice, the entire Gita can be understood. There are a number of interesting stories current about this sloka. I shall give one example. A learned pundit was once giving discourses on the Gita in the august presence of a Maharaja. One day, the turn of the sloka came. I'm going to read this very slowly so not to butcher it. Ananya chintayanta mam ye janna paryupashate tesham nitya biyuktanam yogakshemam pahamyaham. The pundit was explaining enthusiastically the many-sided implications of this sloka. But the Maharaja shook his head and said, "This meaning is not correct." He continued to dispute the correctness of every one of the explanations the pundit gave. The poor pundit had won meritorious distinctions at the court of many a Maharaja and was honored by them all with pompous titles. He felt as if he was stabbed when the Maharaja, in the presence of the entire band of courtiers, condemned his explanation of this sloka as, quote, wrong, unquote. He smarted under the insult. But, plucking up courage, he again set upon his task, and marshalling all his scholarship, he plunged into an eloquent discourse on the multiple meaning of the words yoga and kshema. The Maharaja did not approve of even this. He ordered, "Find out the meaning of this shloka, and having understood it well, come to see me again tomorrow." With this, the Maharaja rose from his throne and went into the inner apartments. The pundit lost even the few grains of courage left in him. He was weighed down by anxiety. He tottered under the insult. He reached home and, placing the copy of the Gita aside, he dropped on his bed. Surprised at this, the pundit's wife asked, Tell me why you came home from the palace today in such grief. What exactly did happen?" She rained one anxious question after another, so that the pundit was obliged to describe to her all that had happened. The insults heaped on his head, the command with which the Maharaja sent him home, etc. The wife listened calmly to the account of what had happened, and after pondering deeply over the incident, she said, "Yes, it is true. What the Maharaja said is right. The explanation you gave for that shloka is not the correct one. How could the Maharaja approve it? The fault is yours." At this, the pundit rose in anger from the cot, like a cobra whose tail is trodden hard. "What do you know, you silly woman? Am I inferior in intelligence to you? Do you, who are engaged in the kitchen all the time, cooking and serving, claim to know more than I? Shut your mouth and quit my presence," he roared. But the lady stood her ground. She replied, "Lord, why do you fly into such a rage at a statement of mere truth? Repeat the shloka once again to yourself and ponder over its meaning. You will then arrive at the right answer for yourself." Thus, by her soft words, the wife brought calm to the mind of her husband. The Pandit started analyzing the meaning of each individual word in the sloka. Ananya Chintayanta Mam, he began, deliberately and slowly, repeating aloud the various meanings. The wife intervened and said, "What use is it to learn and expound the meanings of words? Tell me what your intention was when you approached this Maharaja. What was the purpose?" At this, the Pandit got wild. "Should I not run this family, this home? How am I to meet the cost of food and drink, of clothes and things for you and all the rest? It is for the sake of these that I went to him, of course, or else what business have I with him?" he shouted. Then the wife replied, "If you only had understood what Lord Krishna declared in this sloka, the urge to go to this Maharaja would not have arisen. If he is worshipped without any other thought, if one but surrenders to him, if at all times the mind is fixed on him, then the Lord has declared in this sloka that he would provide everything for the devotee. You have not done these three. You approached the Maharaja believing that he would provide everything. That is where you have gone against the meaning of this verse. That is the reason why he did not accept your explanation." I'm going to stop there.
Just need to finish
the page. I can finish the page.
Finish the story.
Hearing this, that reputed scholar sat a while. Ruminating on her remarks, he realized his mistake. He did not proceed to the palace the next day. Instead, he got immersed in the worship of Krishna at home. When the king inquired why the Pandit had not appeared, the courtiers said that he was staying at home and had not started out. The king sent a messenger, but the Pandit declined to move out. He said, "There is no need for me to go to anyone. My Krishna will provide me with everything. He will bear my yogakshema himself. I suffered insult because I did not realize this so long, being blinded by eagerness to know the manifold meanings of mere words. Surrendering to him, if I am ceaselessly engaged in worshiping him, he will himself provide me with all that I need." When the messenger took this message to the palace, the Maharaja proceeded to the dwelling of the Pandit. On foot, he fell at the feet of the Pandit and said, saying, "I thank you sincerely for explaining to me on this day, out of your own experience, the meaning of the sloka which you expounded yesterday." Thus, the king taught the Pandit that any propagation of spiritual matters which does not come out of the crucible of experience is mere glitter and show.
Because it completes the story.
Yeah. Yes. So this sloka is the 22nd sloka in chapter 9. And when you read this, like Bhagwan said, it is sort of the backbone of the Bhagavad Gita. It's really encompasses the essence of it. I kind of wrote the meaning down of this whole sloka. Okay, so I'm going to just say it again, and then I have the English translation of it too. So, Ananya Chintayantamam, meditating on me with exclusive devotion. Ye jana paryupashate, those who worship exclusively. Tesham nitya bhuyuktanam, of them who are always absorbed. Yogakshemam vahamyaham, I carry what they lack, preserve what they have. Essentially, what the Lord is saying here is this secret to liberation. If you leave everything to me, if you think of me, if you always meditate upon me and focus upon me, I will I will preserve what you already have, and I will make sure you get what you don't have. I think all of us can think of times in our lives when this is very, very true. I don't know if a lot of you are familiar. There's a poem called Footprints. And it's, I can just sort of summarize it. But a man has a dream and that he's walking with the Lord, and they're walking along a beach, and these events in his life flash, and you'll see these footprints in the sand. As he reflected, he noticed that there were times when there was only one set of footprints, and he noticed that that seemed to happen at the times that were most challenging for him. So he said to the Lord, I noticed you said that if I follow you, you will always stay with me. But I noticed the times when I needed you most, there was only one set of footprints. You weren't there. And the Lord responded, my child, it was those times when there were one set of footprints that I was carrying you. And I think when we think about every time in our life, we will always get provided what we need. I was reading a commentary on this shloka. It was a website that I think they use a lot of Swami Vivekananda's information and Sri Ramakrishna as well. But what Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said is that the Lord will give you what you need for your spiritual path. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you're lacking a Mercedes, Lord Krishna is going to give you a Mercedes, but it's really what you need, he will give to you so that you can advance on your own spiritual journey. I had a few thoughts on this. I really also liked this one statement that the Maharaja said, the propagation of spiritual matters, which does not come out of the crucible of experience, is mere glitter and show. And I also think of a lot of stories. My favorite is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when some mother brings her child to him and says, tell him to stop eating sweets. And he said, come back in 3 days. And she came back and he said, well, I had to stop eating sweets so I could tell your child to stop eating sweets. So it's really, your growth comes from the experience that you live, especially when we are souls having this human experience. I'm sorry. So yeah, I think, sorry, I really sat and thought about this because I feel like this shloka is really so powerful. And if you read anything in the Bhagavad Gita at all, this is, I think, the sloka to read. Sure.
Yeah, I think what you said, always, literal meaning is anybody who thinks about me all the time, contemplates, and is with me, I will take care of yoga kshemam vahamyaham. People take care what you don't have, I will give, and I will make sure, like if you don't have a job, I will give you, but you lose after a few days, what is the use? Yoga, that is giving what you don't have, kshemam, and make sure it stays. Like you get wealth, it stays. Or you get knowledge, I will give you what you don't have, and make sure also it stays. Otherwise, you give it, and after a few days, it's gone, what is this? I'll give you. But Vahamyaham, that says, I am going to carry your burden. That is really, Dadami means I am giving. Vahamyaham means I carry your burden. That is Lord is saying. That here they were talking the example of footprints, only one print. That I carried you. It's not just I gave you, but I really literally carried your burden. That is what the meaning is. But there is a higher meaning, even Swami said in another occasion, think is always think about me all the time. The real higher meaning is think there is Ananya, there is nothing but God everywhere. So Usually in the beginning stages, oh, I worship Swami alone, I had nothing but else, or Lord Krishna alone, Lord Rama alone. So whatever, Venkateshwara, Jesus, Buddha, I will only one, which is good in the beginning stages, nothing else. Then he will take care of my needs and carry my burdens. Just even Jesus, famous saying of Shri Baba was, leave all your burdens on me, I'll carry them for you. But the higher meaning is Ananya, there is nothing else. But so you should see everything as divine. You see this microphone, this table, this carpet, the walking, the trees, the streams, the mountains, everything is divine. That is the ultimate experience. If you do that, then you attain the whole thing. So that means, in every, as Swami said, in every cell, in every atom, in every moment, you should see the divine. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. That is the experience we should have. But in the beginning, you have this one-pointed devotion to God. Swami said that the three most important shlokas I said before in Bhagavad Gita. So he wrote in his Gita Vahini in the beginning, one in the second chapter, where he talks about Arjuna. He was in the middle of the battlefield. He didn't know what to fight or not. So he tries to argue, don't you think it is killing my people is bad, it is himsa, it is violence. I would rather go to the forest and contemplate, live contemplative life. Just is an excuse to not, like in life also, when we have challenges, problems, some people face it with courage and because they have faith in God. Some people nicely walk away from that. Oh, this is too much stress for me, this is not for me. So in the organization also in the last few years, 5-6 years, so many things happen. Some people will face it. When you know you are on the right path in the dharma, it doesn't matter, you'll face. But people who are not founded solid, they get easily flustered, they get upset and they walk away. So you need to have that thing. When you have that ultimate foundation, then you are happy. So this Arjuna was so shaken up, even though he's not an ordinary man, he did so much tapas, he had Pashupatastra, he is so powerful, one-pointedness. That is why Lord Krishna told Bhagavad Gita Arjuna, but he dropped all his bow, arrows, the beautiful lot of Gita Upadesham pictures all of you see. So then he says, first he tried to argue, I won't do this, this is not right. Then he realized his mistake because Lord Krishna didn't say anything, he was listening. Go ahead, go ahead. Then he says, Karpanya dosho upahata swabhavaha Uchami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha asheyatam nishchitam bruhime shishyaste aham shadhimam prapan. This is very important. He says, I'm confused. Like life also, karpanya dosa in life also. Is this good to do or that good? Sometimes what is dharma, sometimes very straightforward, black and white. Sometimes it's not that easy. Is it right to do? So I'm really of this karpanya dosha that is called. I'm confused. So at this time, I don't know what to do. So he says, now he says, dharma sammuda cheta. I know, confused which is the right dharma. So I am with that attitude, I'm asking you, you tell me what is good for me. So that this time itself he is using his intellect to analyze, telling God who is there, who knows everything, to ask and tell me what is good. He was trying to argue. Now he says, Pam Prapana, I surrender to you. How? Not like his friend, he was his friend, brother in law. No, as Shishyasteyam, like a disciple. You are my guru now. He's a Jagat Guru. Before he had the relation as a brother in law, as a friend, all that. But here, the relation between guru and disciple is different. Whatever the guru says, you implicitly follow. So just Chadimam, he says, command me. You command me, so I surrender to you, Lord. I am your disciple. These are three important words. I surrender. So that means in life also for us to get guidance from Swami, you say you should take that attitude. Whatever you say, I will do it. And I surrender to you and command me. That is why in his May 17th, 1968 discourse, First World Conference, I always say the best way to reach summum bonum of life is implicitly, completely, and immediately follow my command. That is the way he says it will give you more benefit, all the japa, meditation, service, bhajans you do. What is important is follow his teachings. His teachings are very simple, 5 human values. That itself, a lot of time we do bhajan, we go surveys, we do study circles, simple truth. Am I really telling truth all the time? But sometimes simple things people try to tell and to go, I will. They know they are not coming tomorrow. They'll say, I think we'll see. Be honest, transparent. No disaster happens in life. There's no need. So many times, simple thing, truth. And then also not to have hatred to anybody. You don't like, just stay away. But ultimately, you should love the enemies. If it is not easy, at least you should not. This fundamental, and don't hurt non-violence. Don't hurt by thought, word, and deed. These are the basic things. You don't need to be a Vedic scholar. That is what Swami said. This man, he knows the Gita. But there are, the other day we talked about, there are 3 kinds of knowledge. Right? What are the 3 kinds? One is bookish knowledge. You can learn the whole 700 slokas. Even little 5-year-old kids, they can repeat it. But they're not understanding. Just mechanically wrote, they will say. What is the meaning? So then after a while, they develop practical knowledge. How do I apply that in my life? Then it becomes anubhavaji, experiential knowledge. Once you experience that, that's what this man didn't experience here. Only bookish knowledge, no good. But once you experience that, then you will be good. That's very important. First bookish knowledge, after going on doing, then you go to practical knowledge, and then experiential knowledge. Here also there these 3 shlokas. What is the third shloka? And second is Ananyashintayanto mam ye janah parivupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogatshemam vahamyam. This is the chapter 9, shloka 20. The last one is most important. But they call it. It ends there. That is the sloka 18, chapter 18, 66. That is, the Vaishnava is saying the whole Gita ends there. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vaja ahantva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Very important. All these 3 slokas are not big. You can memorize them. And he says, giving up all your obligation, duties, sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. You said, surrender to me alone. Ekam means me, not to you surrender. A lot of us have partial surrender. Surrender to your boss, surrender to your family, your children, and then your bank. But only to God. That means you give the highest. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. If you do that, what does he do? That is why, but everywhere, even here, first part of the sloka is what you should do. Second part is what he will do. He says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parivupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam. Next, yoga kshemam vahame. First, you do all the time, think about me. I will take care of your yoga and kshema. Here, same thing. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. If you give up everything and only me you surrender, what does he do? Ahantva sarva papebhyo. Because we have done so many sins in this life or not in previous lives, karma, all those sins I will wash it away. And then ahantva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. That is what everybody looking spiritually. I will give you moksha, liberation. Ma sucheha. Don't know, you won't have any more grief. So 3 things he will do. One is he will. So please, all of you, reference is very important because Swami gave importance. Every shloka is a gem, but these 3 shlokas, Karpanya Dosa in chapter 2, Ananyas Chintayantu Mam, and Sarvadharma. There, if you do that, you don't need to have any more sorrow in life, grief. You'll always be happy. But here, he was telling his wife, he doesn't know Gita. She's not a scholar. That is why he was telling you, work in the kitchen, washing the dishes, what do you know? But she has practical knowledge. She has the experiential knowledge. So you never know. So you can't. I told you last time also there was one Shishya for Sri Krishna called Latu Maharaj. Sri Ram Vivekananda. He never even know how to read and write. He was a cook. Just cooks. Then he became such a serious penance, austerities, and Sri Krishna spotted him and he made him one of the disciples. That is why Swami Vivekananda gave him the name Adbhutananda. His name was Latu Maharaj because he is a miracle of the Ramakrishna. A cook who is ignorant, he made him like a great monk at whose feet great intellectuals took initiation and followed him. He himself was not read, but that is the power. When you have the knowledge, jnana, all these people, you say, Ramana Maharshi didn't go to college, Nisargadatta didn't go to college, Ramakrishna Paramsa didn't even finish primary school, Swami didn't finish high school. So, but they are the repositories of jnana. That's why even Ramakrishna's time, Keshav Chandra Sen, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, great luminaries of those days, they used to be following him. And even Swami, you have seen yourself, people of all Vedic scholars, great scientists, intellectuals, and everybody, all people who are attained eminence in their own field, and even music, celebrities, everybody fell at his lotus feet. So that because he's the source of everything. So that is what it is. Here, another example, anybody here also can relate. In Shirdi Satcharita, similar story is there. There is this Das Ganu. There is a one day, you might have seen movie. He's composed nice songs and used to do Harikatha and Shirdi Baba. He read one Upanishad, there are 108 Upanishad called Ishavasya Upanishad. You should read that. It has only 20 shlokas. So he wanted to do commentary on that because 20 slokas is easy. He tried, he knows, he has good knowledge. He went to so many scholars, other people who know that. He tried, and nobody gives whatever they give, he was not happy. It's not happy. Then said, oh my God, I should go to Baba. Why should I am going all this place? He went to Shidi Baba. Baba, I want to translate, please help me. Oh, you want the translation? When you are going to go to this Le Parle, there is Kaka Sahib Dikshe. His maid servant will teach you. People around think he's joking. Even scholars could not give him explanation. A maid servant of Kaka Dikshe, how can she? But this man had so much faith. If Baba says something, it's a Veda. There are people with that kind of faith. Baba said, it will do. So he went to that Kaka Sahib Dikshe's place. Then he had revelation. Because what important is, Ishavashyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam. Everything is pervaded by God. Be happy always. Be content with what you have. That's what meaning is. First shloka, very powerful. Everything is pervaded by God. Then be happy with what you have. And don't covet others' wealth. That is what in the world right now happens. So we are not happy with what we have. We want to have this, and that person is have more. So because everything is divine. So that is meaning, but he didn't understand. So that when he goes there, those people like him so much, they gave him nice clothes and all to Das Ganu Maharaj. He was a great. So then he saw from his place that the girl in the backyard, she was washing dishes, the thing, and she was torn clothes. Poor girl, she was not well clothed and holes in her clothes and all that. But she was happily singing the song. It's some local song, folk song. Then he felt bad. He told the people, "You are giving me these clothes. Give her also some nice sari." Okay, because he. Next time they brought a nice sari and gave him, so he gave it to that girl. She was happy. So just she put the new sari and was all dancing around with the because she never had good clothes. But she cannot wear her. The next day, when she goes, she took off that sari and again wore the old torn clothes. And again she was dancing and singing. She was happy when she had torn clothes, and in the beginning, I gave her the new ones which are good. She was happy jumping around. Now again, back to torn clothes, still she is happy. Yes, that means that is a lesson of the message of Ishava. What is it? Be content with what you have. And then the message is the one who gave that sari and the one who received the sari, she and the sari, they're all God. So everything, then there is another, everything is Ishavashyam. So two major messages. It is, he didn't teach him, but through her, he had that revelation that this is the message of Ishava. This is what I said. You never know where the message comes from us. It could be a book, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, or somebody who scolds you or gives you troubles. But you can get the message from anywhere. So that is the main thing about that. These three shlokas are very important. Also, I will tell one more incident at the end. There is in Puri Jagannath. I don't know how many. Did any of you go here from Puri Jagannath? You went there. There's a beautiful temple. So this is where people fight: is Shiva great or Vishnu great? Because that is Vishnu place Jagannath. And Jagannath Chariot Festival is the most famous. And so Swami said, Jagannath means what? The Lord of the universe, Jaga. Vishwanath means Lord of the universe. So Kashi Vishwanath, Puri Jagannath means same. These ignorant people, they fight. Whether it is Puri Jagannath, Kashi Vishwanath, Vishwanath and Jagannath same. Here there was a great scholar. He was there. Same shloka. He was reading. He was very poor. I don't know, whenever we are highly intellectual, sometimes people get in the old days, they say Saraswati and Lakshmi, their mother and daughter, they don't go together. There's a lot of, those particularly the old days, it's Brahmin people, they're highly intellectual, scholarly, but a lot of them are struggling for livelihood. So he was not happy because he was so not scholarly. So he saw this shloka and Yogatshemam Vahamyaham, he scratched the Vahamyaham. He says, he's not taking care of me. And because no food, he went out, he wanted to bring the food. So meanwhile, he went out, he could not. Meanwhile, a young boy came with plenty of food, and bagfuls of food, and brought and gave it to the mother, that his wife. So this is for you. Who brought it? Your husband sent this. God plays all the tricks. And he took. She was very happy. Oh, finally, my husband got this, all this. Then she saw on his boy, there's a big scratch mark on his shoulder. What happened, mom? Boy, what happened? He's such a. Oh, who did that to you? Your husband did that to me. She says, he old man, as he's getting older, he's getting weird and eccentric and doing all crazy stuff. Let me take care of him when he comes. But then when he came home, and so I couldn't get any food, I didn't, today also is a disappointing day. What can you do? He says, no, you sent to this boy. Really? I didn't send anything. So then he said, but whatever it is, you did a bad thing. Why did you scratch that boy and hurt him? But then he felt, on that shloka, Yogatshemam Vahamyaham, he put a scratch across. So even though it is shloka, it is really with the feeling that went to God. So that is why he says, whatever things you do for not only even the book, what he scratched, not even a person, it will go to God. Everything you should do with that spirit, whether any person. That is why Sarvadeva Siraskaram Keshavam, Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam. Whatever you do, even people, you will finally go to God. That is the inner meaning God gives you in different way.